What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the Rogue. We're going to go over two different specs that I have created with some pre-raid best in slot gear that you guys can equip before stepping foot into Black Fathom Deep's the raid for the first time. The two different talent specializations that I've managed to put together for you guys are a DPS build and a Rogue tank build. So without further ado, guys, let's dive in. Okay, so for the Rogue tank build, let's go to our runes first. For our chest slot rune, what we're going to be taking here is just a flesh wound. You take 20% reduced physical damage while Blade Dance is active. Additionally, you have a 6% reduced chance to be critically hit by melee attacks, and the threat generated by all of your actions is massively increased. And your feint ability is replaced with Tease, which taunts the target to attack you. So basically, we want to take just a flesh wound. This is what is actually going to make us a tank. It's going to give us a taunt, it's going to make us way tankier, and then we're going to move down to the leg rune, and here is where we're going to take Blade Dance, which is a finishing move that increases your parry chance, lasts longer, and grants more parry chance per combo point. As you guys can see, 1 point gives you 14 seconds and 6% parry, all the way down to 5 points gives you 30 seconds and 10% parry, so this is going to be your finisher, and it's going to buff your parry chance. It's important to note here that Rogue tanking is going to be all about dodge and parry, so these abilities are extremely useful. Next, we're going to move down to our hand rune, and this is where we're going to pick up Main Gouge. Instantly strike with your offhand weapon for normal offhand weapon damage and increase your chance to parry by 10% for 10 seconds. And this is important here too. Main Gouge benefits from all talents and effects that trigger or modify Sinister Strike. So now let's move to our talents, right? We're going to be in the combat tree for this. We're going to get 2 points in improved Sinister Strike to reduce the energy cost by 5, and that's going to reduce the energy cost of Main Gouge as well. Next, we're going to move over to Lightning Reflexes, get 3 points in here for 3% extra dodge chance, 5 points in Deflection for increased parry chance by 5%, 5 points in Precision because 5% hit is going to be massive on you at this level, especially since rogues will be dual wielding. Having that 5% hit at level 25 is super important. And then we have 1 point left over, and we're going to throw that into Riposte, a strike that becomes active after parrying an opponent's attack. This attack deals 150% weapon damage and disarms the target for 6 seconds. Now let's go check out some Rogue tank gear. So I've compiled a list of what I think would be some of the best pre-raid gear for a Rogue tank going into Black Fathom Deeps to tank for the first time. All of these pieces of gear you can acquire before stepping foot in the raid. That's important to note. So the first one being our headpiece, the Bright Eye Goggles from Engineering. You're getting 9 Spirit, 9 Stamina from those. Your next slot item would be the Sentinel's Medallion, giving you 6 Agility and 2 Stamina. And this is acquired by getting honored with Silverwing Sentinels or Warsong Outriders, depending if you're Horde or Alliance. Moving on down to shoulders, I chose Robust Shoulders of the Monkey simply because I think getting shoulders here with Of the Monkey on them would be super important for tanking because you're going to get stamina and agility. Obviously, the Mantle of Thieves would be your best in-slot shoulders, but it drops as a world drop in Razorfen Crawl, and I'm not sure how many people are going to be doing that, so there's probably not going to be many of these out in the world, and if there are, they're going to be pretty expensive. So moving down, another Cape of the Monkey here. I got Cutthroat's Cape of the Monkey, 4 agility, 4 stamina with an enchant of 3 agility on it. And if you're Alliance, the Tunic of Westfall is going to be your absolute best in slot chest. When it comes to Rogue tanking, you're getting 5 stamina, 11 agility from that, so that's pretty huge. But let's say you're Horde and you don't have access to Tunic of Westfall, any one of these of the Monkey chests should do the trick. 7 agility, 7 stamina is pretty big. Even going down to the level 21s, you're getting 6 agility, 6 stamina. Not that big of a difference and really good stats. So moving down to the wrists, we have Headhunter's Bands of the Monkey. These are another 4 agility, 4 stamina set of bracers, and I enchanted them with 5 strength to give us a little bit extra attack power. Moving down to our weapons, we're going to be using Beazle's Basher. If you can get your hands on this, this will be your best main hand weapon, and then your offhand would be Protector's Sword. If you can't get your hands on these weapons, they are BOE blues, they are world drops, they may be pretty expensive. If you can't get your hands on them, what you can do is use any of these swords of the Monkey. The Viking swords of the Monkey are great for a main hand because they're 2.7 speed, and then you could just find a one-hander and throw that in your offhand, or even a dagger would do the trick. But if you're not using those two blues, I would suggest using Of the Monkey for that agility and stamina. And then in our glove slot, we have Pathfinder Gloves of the Monkey. These are great because we're getting 6 agility, 6 stamina, and we can enchant them with 5 agility for a total of 11 agility on these gloves. So anything similar to those stats will do the trick. And for our belt, we have Deviate Scale Belt, which is a leatherworker belt. It would definitely be your best in slot for tanking, simply because you're getting 6 stamina, 5 agility, and 3 spirit for some health regen. Again, if you can't get your hands on this, anything of the monkey will do. The common trend here for rogue tanking is that the stamina and agility is your main thing here. You need to stack stamina, stack agility for that dodge and crit, so that it helps you with your threat, and that's going to be the goal here. So for our legs, Leggings of the Fang are pretty great as well. We have 5 strength, 4 stamina, 9 agility, so you're getting a bunch of attack power, some crit, some dodge, and some health from these legs. Pretty hard to beat. I mean, you can go for Trip Runner Dungarees, which would be the absolute best in slot item. However, you do need a complete Gnomer gun, and I'm sure there's some Giga Chads out there that will do it at level 25, but for most people, Leggings of the Fang are worth farming. Whether you're Horde or Alliance, I would get in there and try and farm those. For our boots, we went with Pathfinder Boots of the Monkey. These are great because we're getting 6 agility, 6 stamina yet again, and we can enchant them with 3 agility. For our rings, we have Protector's Band, 4 strength, 4 agility, 2 stamina. This is a massive ring that you can obtain by getting honored with Warsong Rep, again, whether you're Horde or Alliance. So very good ring here. And in the second slot, if you're Alliance, going for the Seal of Rin is going to be something that everyone is going to do. I can almost guarantee that. So that would be your second best in slot ring. If you can't grab that, pick up like Savannah Ring of the Monkey, Prairie Ring of the Monkey. Any Ring of the Monkey in that second slot will do the trick. And then Arena Grandmaster as a trinket actually will benefit you for rogue tanking. It's going to give you 1% dodge and an on-use bubble that you can pop if you get in some trouble. Not the easiest thing in the world to farm, but it is doable, so I'm going to put that on this list in case you want a challenge. For the second slot, I just threw Goblin Jumper Cables in there. And then for our range slot, we have the Ranger Bow, which will give you 1 agility, so it's not that big of a stat stick for you, so I wouldn't worry about this or spend a ton of money on this. I would honestly just use throwing weapons or any range weapon of your choice. Getting 1 agility at this level would be nice, but it's not that detrimental to how we're going to do as a tank, so don't worry about it all that much. Now let's move on to the Rogue DPS build. Okay, so for our Rogue DPS build, for our chest rune, we're going to go with Deadly Brew. When you inflict any other poison on a target, you also inflict deadly poison. So that's going to be our chest rune right there. Leg rune, you guessed it, we're going to go with Envenom, a finishing move that deals instant poison damage based on your deadly poison doses on the target. Following the Envenom attack, you have a 75% increased frequency of applying instant poison for 1 second, plus an additional 1 second per combo point. 1 dose is activated per combo, so this is going to basically replace Eviscerate as your finisher and combo point spender. Moving down to the hand rune, we're going to pick up Mutilate. Instantly attack with both weapons for 100% weapon damage, plus an additional 20 with each weapon. Damage is increased by 20% against poison targets, awards 2 combo points. Mutilate benefits from all talents and effects that trigger from or modify backstab unless otherwise specified. So basically what we're going to be doing here is playing a vanilla Mutilate rogue. However, something weird is going on where I don't see that it says Mutilate requires daggers. I'm not sure if that's just not in this tooltip, and it will, but we'll get into that. I'll show you guys 2 good daggers to use, or 2 mace and sword weapons that we could use as well, depending on how that plays out. For our talents, we're going to go into the assassination tree. We're going to put 5 points in Malice for an extra 5% crit chance, 3 points in improved slice and dice because we want to basically keep this up all the time and never let it fall off, 2 points into ruthlessness to give us a 40% chance to add a combo point after we envenom, 5 points in lethality to increase that damage from Mutilate. So basically when Mutilate crits, having 5 points in lethality is going to give us a 30% damage buff on that crit, and then 1 point in Relentless Strikes, which gives our Envenom a 20% chance per combo point to restore 25 energy. So this is massive. Now let's head over to the gear. Okay, so for the gear, not that much different than the rogue tanking gear. The only difference is anything we were using of the monkey, we're going to sub it out and use of the tiger. So again, we have the engineering goggles as our helmet, the Silver Wing Sentinel medallion as our neck piece from that Warsong rep. The Bristlebark Amis shoulder pads would be the absolute pre-raid best in slot shoulders, simply because you're getting 6 agility and 3 strength from those, so it's nothing but damage coming off of those. Cape of the Brotherhood would be a great choice here too. 6 agility, 3 stamina with an enchant of 3 agility on it. Tunic of Westfall yet again, but what you can do if your horde is go with anything of agility, like the Dervish Tunic of Agility is 11 agility, and to be completely honest, sacrificing that 5 stamina from the Tunic of Westfall isn't going to hurt your DPS at all, so if you're horde, just simply go for something like that. Going down to our wrists, we have the Jurassic wrist guards that give 2 strength, 5 agility with a 5 strength enchant on them. These are going to be good pre-raid bracers because you're getting 2 strength and 5 agility, so you're getting some crit and you're gaining a bunch of attack power from these as well. Onto our weapons, again, Beazle's Basher would be the best main hand, Protector's Sword would be the best offhand. One of these is a BOE, the Basher is a BOE, so it may be pretty pricey to pick up that, but Protector's Sword is fairly easy to get. You just need to get Revered with Warsong rep. But here's the thing. Mutilate usually requires you to use 2 daggers. I'm not sure if that's how this is going to be, but if you do need to use 2 daggers, what I would do is put, for Alliance, I would farm out the Prison Shank from Stockades as your main hand, and then in your offhand, you can throw something like Sentinel's Blade, which you can get from Silverwing Sentinels, rep Revered. That would be a good offhand here, or you can go with like Shadowfang. Any of those daggers will do the trick. So this would be if you need to use daggers for Mutilate spec. Again, not 100% sure on that. It's not on the tooltip, but it might just not be showing up, and it may be there when the game is live. So we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, moving on to our gloves, we have Pathfinder Gloves of the Tiger, giving us 6 agility, 6 strength with a +5 agility enchant. Scaled Leather Belt of the Tiger, 6 agility, 6 strength. And then Leggings of the Fang here. We have, these are just going to be the best. The same with the tank spec. You're getting 5 strength, 4 stam, 9 agility, so it's a ton of damage from these. Again, you could go for trip runners. I mean, but I'm not 100% sure how that's going to work. I'm sure there's going to be people running around with them, but you're going to need to do some sketchy stuff to clear Gnomeregan at level 25. So I'm going to keep Leggings of the Fang here. These are easily farmable for Horde or Alliance. A lot easier for Horde. Not as easy for Alliance, but I do think that they're worth it if you can get them. Moving on down to boots, we have Pathfinder Footpads of Agility, giving you 8 agility, and you can enchant 3 agility on them for a total of 11 agility. Very nice set of boots. And then we have the Protector's Band from the Warsong rep. Again, you just need to be honored. That's a massive ring. 4 strength, 4 agi, 2 stem. Huge DPS increase by getting that ring. And then in the second slot, again, if you're Alliance, try and go for the Seal of Rin. If you can't get that, any of these rings of agility will do the trick. And as for trinkets, none of these trinkets are actually going to increase your DPS by anything, but you can farm them out if you want to. And then for our range slot, again, Ranger Bow is the only ranged weapon at this level with any stats on it whatsoever. That 1 agility may give you a tiny bit more DPS, but I wouldn't sweat it if you can't get your hands on this. Just use throwing weapons or any other ranged weapon of your choice. So if you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button. It really does help me out a lot. And consider subscribing to the channel and turning on post notifications so you don't miss the next time I post a video. I'm currently creating a ton of Season of Discovery content, and I'll keep creating content as the season progresses all the way through to the next season, and then I'll make content on that as well. So if you guys are enjoying it, hit that subscribe button. And if you guys want to hang out with me live, I do stream on Twitch Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern time at twitch.tv/hammerdance. I'll drop a link to that in the description below this video. And if you want to access this build and tweak it, mess with maybe some of the items or some of the talents, I do link these builds in the community Discord in the class channel. So if you join the Discord, go to the Rogue channel, this build will be linked there, and you guys can mess with it on your own time. But anyways, guys, that's all from me. Thank you all so much for watching and listening in. I'll see you all in the next one.